Hello everyone, Tutu Mora here with The Y, bringing you tools to feel well in your body, mind, and spirit. Today we're going to be strengthening the upper body using a TheraBand. Now, if you don't have a TheraBand, you can easily just use a pair of yoga pants or any kind of stretchy item of clothing that's going to provide you a little resistance to strengthen with. So what we're going to do to start, we're going to just get right into it. I'm going to have you find a comfortable standing position. Finding your feet just equally weighted from foot to foot, feet parallel and hip distance apart. Allowing your shoulders to stay down and away from the ears. And I'm just gonna tilt my screen down a smidge so you can see that I've got my TheraBand just at waist height here and about shoulder distance apart. Now, it doesn't matter necessarily the color of TheraBand that you use because you can easily bring your hands closer together if you want more resistance, if you want it to be harder, or you can bring your hands further apart if you'd like it to be a little bit easier with less resistance. So as we get started, if you feel like you need to change up that resistance for it to work a little bit better for you, definitely do that for yourself. So let's start with that band about shoulder distance apart just to start and see how that resistance is working for you. And now I have the band starting about at my waist. And what we're gonna do here is keeping those shoulders down and keeping that head in line with the spine. Let's start to open that band and close it back up. Now at my waist, I'm just opening and closing. So just taking that here a few times, opening and closing, holding your posture as you move. Now we're just going to take this a couple more times and I want you to see if you can breathe deeply as you're doing this. One more here, just opening and closing that band. And on the next one, we're going to open that band. We're gonna lift those arms, keeping the shoulders down, lifting those arms up, overhead, or until you feel like you can't hold your posture any longer. So it can be really easy, we're gonna lower that band down now back to the starting point. It can be really easy as you lift that band to either pop out the chest, bring that head forward, or lift the shoulders. And so feel into what your kind of natural inclination is to do and see if you can just gently encourage your body to maintain that posture that you want to strengthen. Nice. And we're going slowly so you can feel along the way where are the areas where your posture might want to change. So we're going to take that 2 more times, opening that band. And bringing it back down. Last one here. And closing it back. Now, keeping that same kind of distance away, or of course you can always change that resistance. Let me take a step back so you can see. I have one arm out to the side here. And what we're gonna do, almost like you're just drawing a sword out of its hilt. We're gonna open and close. You don't have to bring it all the way back down to your hip, just until you feel that resistance end. So right about there, just opening and closing. Now we're gonna take a few more each side here, but really allowing those shoulders to stay down as if you've got a nice control over the movement on the way in and on the way out. Let's take one more to this side and then we'll switch. and then we'll switch sides. Perhaps noticing that one side feels a little bit more capable than the other. And a natural imbalance is pretty typical for folks. But just noticing how it feels different from side to side. And we'll take 3 more. Now, if you feel like this is pretty easy, you can choose a higher resistance on your band. You can slow this down. Going slower is always going to be a little bit more challenging. And resting here. Now, from here, I'm going to have you bring that band down to the floor and you're going to step into it, keeping your feet hip distance apart. I'm going to tilt my screen down so you can see that I've kind of stepped into my band. And I've got one end of the band in each of my hands. And we're just gonna do a little bicep press, lifting up and back down. Keeping those shoulders down, keeping your posture. We're gonna take 3 more. And now we're gonna let that left side rest and we're gonna take 5 to each side separately. Seeing if you can maintain that posture along the way and choosing your resistance that works for you as well. So we'll take 2 more here. And then we'll take that to the other side for 5. And resting those arms, you can step out of your band. We have 2 more exercises to do here. So I'm going to step back once again. I have a wider grip on my band here, and I'm going to bring one arm up towards the ceiling. So it's as if my fist is kind of reaching towards the ceiling here. And I want you to find a little reach up through the back of the armpit. So finding that reach, we're just going to nice and slowly sweep that arm to center and bring it back. We're going to take that 4 more times. Remembering to breathe, keeping that reach up through the back of the armpit. Last one. Holding here, and then let's switch sides. Now this side will find its reach up through the back of the armpit, and this arm will swing around and back, nice and controlled. Last 2. And rest those arms back down. From here, we're going to take that band around to the back. You can wrap your arm or your hands around the band here. And I want you just to feel, here I'll step closer, I want you to feel as though those fists are now reaching down towards the floor. So find that reach down towards the floor and then open that band and reach back through the triceps. Bringing your arms back down and closing the band, taking that again, reaching down towards the floor, opening the band, and then reaching back towards the triceps, or back through the triceps, and closing. Again. Last one here, we're gonna reach down, open the band, and then we're gonna pulse back through the triceps. Just holding that little pulse. Now on the next pulse, we're gonna hold that back, drop those shoulders, and we're gonna slowly rotate the head to look in one direction. Deep breath, head back to center, and then rotating the head to look in the other direction. Back to center, and you can let those arms rest. Now we're gonna do that one more time, and I'm gonna tilt my screen up so you can see a little bit better. So let's take that one more time as we reach those fists down towards the floor, open the band and reaching back, and we're gonna start pulsing back through the triceps. Couple more. And holding this next one out, drop those shoulders, slowly rotate that head to look in one direction, and taking a deep breath. Slowly rotating the other direction. Deep breath. Back to center, and you can release those arms and release the band. All right, so take a second here, just feel how the muscles in your arms feel. How does your posture feel? So you may notice that not only does it feel like you worked out your arms a little bit, but your chest might feel a little bit more open and you're standing a little bit taller as well. So feel free to return to this as often as you need to. It can be a lovely way and an accessible way to strengthen the upper body. So thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you back here next time on the Wise YouTube channel. Take care.